NBA legend just dropped hammer on protesting racist black liberals destroying America. There are not many people in the media spotlight that are willing to stand up to the liberal lunacy, but that is not the case with NBA legend Charles Barkley. Barkley has the reputation of going against the grain when it comes to whatever the popular media narrative is at the time. For instance, earlier this year Barkley shocked the hippy-dippy leftists when he said that comparing NBA basketball players to slaves was asinine and stupid. And there was the time 2 years ago when Barkley went on an epic rant against people who pull the race card continually. So, it should come as no surprise that Charles Barkley would have something to say about the racist liberals destroying Confederate statues, and they are not going to like it. For the past several weeks, the left has been spiraling out of control with their hateful rhetoric. It has now reached a fever pitch after last weekend's violent clash in Charlottesville, Virginia. All this week Antifa and the BLM have been roaming the countryside vandalizing and destroying Confederate statues in their toddler-esque temper tantrum response. So, when Round Mound of Rebound heard that this was occurring, he gave some advice that will have the alt-left triggered for weeks. Barkley body-slammed the liberal lunacy, saying that this was an absolute waste of energy. "I am not going to waste my time worrying about these Confederate statues," said Barkley, who has voted mostly for Democrats during his life. "That has wasted energy." He continued. "You know what I am going to do? I am going to keep doing great things. I am going to keep trying to make a difference, number one in the black community because I am black. But I am also going to try to do good things in the world. I am not going to waste my time screaming at a neo-Nazi who is going to hate me no matter what. And I am not going to waste my time worrying about these statues. I've always ignored them." You can listen to the rest of it here. Here is more from BizPac Review. When asked what we should do about the Confederate statues, Barkley quipped, "I am 54 years old. I've never thought about those statues a day in my life. If you ask most black people, they haven't thought a day in their lives about those stupid statues." Barkley, who has long called for an end black-on-black violence, said African Americans need to focus on important things, not on anti-virtue signaling symbolism that does nothing to advance their cause. "What we as black people need to do is, we have to worry about getting our education," he said. "We need to stop killing each other. We need to try to find ways to have more economic opportunity. Those things are important, not worrying about stupid statues." This entire narrative that these statues and monuments are racist is absolutely absurd, and this is why. For the past 8 years, these statues were not at all racist, nor did they cause any issues. Let us be honest, how many people have been thinking about these statues on a daily basis? Not a one, and it is a pretty safe bet that it has not hindered anyone's life at either. However, since President Trump is in office, suddenly everything is racist and needs to be destroyed. Whether you like these statues or you disagree with them, it is not anyone's right to destroy them. These statues are on public property, and here is a news flash for these intellectually challenged folks: when you deface them, that is called vandalism. However, this is not what was taught to these hateful leftist minions, which can be proven with these choice tweets. Such blanket racist statements practically beg for these kinds of epic smackdowns. And this. Now, to be fair, there may be a reasonable argument for some that the Confederate statues should be removed. Many people would argue that since they lost the war, they should not be remembered or honored. However, that is an entirely wrong way to look at it, and this is why. This is our history, and if we attempt to erase it, that can only spell disaster for future generations. Whether this was a painful or not, we cannot forget those who shed blood on America's soil. Though what is really important to remember here is that this is first and foremost a local issue. People should not be screaming that these are racist and freaking out over these statues. Seriously, these statues have been up for decades. Why weren't people in the past triggered for the past 10, 20, 30 or 40 years? Can you guess why? It was because Antifa was not around, and like said before, there is a Republican president. Now it makes sense, right? Share to tick off a liberal with the truth.